Hi, and welcome back to It Figures. Tonight I have a review for you of Michael Myers, the ultimate Michael Myers from Halloween. So with the movie coming out today, I couldn't help but do the review for it as well here. And on my other channel, Box Office Maniacs, I will be doing an unboxing for this today and giving out a digital code if you guys are interested in heading over there and checking that out. And you'll find Box Office Maniacs down there in the description box below if you want to go check out my other channel. But for now, we are going to check out Michael Myers. Now, if you watch my channel at all, you know I'm a big fan of horror films, and I do have a lot of horror action figures. And surprisingly, I don't have that many of Michael Myers. I have a ton of Jason, I have a ton of Freddy, and I only have one Michael Myers figure, and that was the original one that McFarlane brought out way back in the day. So this is number 2. This is the only other Michael Myers figure I have ever bought. I thought about getting the Rob Zombie one, and I almost did, and I just never picked it up. But since I love this movie so much, and I seen that NECA was coming out with the brand new Michael from the movie, it was no-brainer. I had to pick this one up. So the box here is actually pretty nicely done. It's your normal NECA, like, big collector series box that they're coming out with now. Pretty much every figure gets one of these. Jason has gotten a lot of these. Freddy's gotten a lot of these. Even Chucky's gotten some, and the Gremlins have gotten them. So these are coming out a lot from NECA, and they're really well done, especially for collectors who don't like taking things out of the box. But here on It Figures, of course, we never keep things in the box. So looking forward to getting him out of the box and looking at him in much more detail. So let's do that right now. Here we go. Right out of the box, I can say that he actually looks so much better. Inside the box, I was looking at the mask, and I wasn't that impressed with it. I was just like, well, you know, it doesn't look like the movie. What is going on with my light? Michael's affecting my light here on It Figures. Yeah, but inside the box, his mask just didn't really look that good. And I was just like, I don't know. It looked almost too white to me, I guess. But now that it's outside the box and I can actually see the detail of the mask, it looks really good. All right, so just to give you a close-up of the mask, I think the details in there are excellent, and it's aged, you know, like it should be, and the hair actually looks really good too. It's nicely done hair. The mask almost feels rubbery too. It's weird because it looks, you know, like hard plastic, and it is hard plastic, but it just has a weird rubbery texture. Maybe this is just me. But yeah, it's a really nice looking mask. So towards the bottom of the mask, it's very brown, I guess, again, just to show the age of it, and probably because it was against the skin, maybe. I don't really know the purpose of the lower half of the mask being brown like that, but there is a little bit of brown speckled throughout the entire mask. So his jumpsuit looks really nice, too. One complaint I was having was it looks too clean. I mean, I don't remember in the movie how clean it really is, but you can just see how clean it is here on the figure. And it has one little red dot. I don't know if you can see that. One little blood stain. So you got one little tiny piece of blood on him. I think that's a mistake, but one little blood droplet that he got on his outfit. And I love the collar. I like how the collar is sticking out here, but not over here. So that's a really nice sculpt that they did there. And they even have his blue shirt too. Just a little bit of the blue shirt there underneath the actual jumpsuit that he acquired in the film. And here's the back of the jumpsuit. And as you can see, all the folds and everything in it look really nice. I guess I should show the back of the mask as well. The hair looked really good. And it's a little rubbery, just like the mask. It's kind of a little rubber hair. But I think they did a really good job of sort of the matted old texture of the hair. So as we continue down here, his hands are bloody. He does have very bloody hands. The sculpt of his hands are extremely nice. It even has the lines in it and the palms and everything. So very, very nicely sculpted hands. Very realistic looking. So they did a great job. And this hand too also has some blood on it. So we get down to his boots, and they're just regular boots that Michael would be wearing. There's nothing really fancy about them. They're just, you know, black boots. Now, if you watch my other reviews that I've been doing a lot of with NECA is one of the big complaints I have about these figures is the articulation. It's usually too loose, the hip joints are loose, things are broken, but I'm here to say that Michael is in perfect condition. And I finally applaud NECA for getting it correct. And the articulation in him is really well done. I was kind of surprised on actually how good it is. The head is actually on a ball joint, so you can, like, you know, turn his head sideways. You got to have that sideways tilt, and just that is really a great pose by itself. One thing I want to point out with this mask, and it's really hard to see it on the camera, but he does have eyes in his mask, and I want to try to get some light down here. I'm trying to get as much light in here as I can, so that's why you see the things here on the screen. But you can barely see him here. I mean, he does, and they're kind of like weird, almost whitish, kind of almost, they kind of look like Marilyn Manson eyeballs. But the mask has depth to it, so that's probably why it feels rubbery to me, because there was a face behind it, and then they sort of put the mask on there, at least the upper half of it here. And that's a really great touch to be able to see his eyes inside the mask. Now, as I was talking about articulation here, he has great articulation. His shoulder joints are really good, and I really like what they did here with the elbow joints. They're really nice what they did. It's almost invisible. You don't even really see the bend here, or you know, they used to have like a big peg that you could see, and with this you don't really have that here. It's really nicely done. The hands are also, you know, you can turn them any direction, so they're really nicely done too. Now the terrible hip joints, they're really good. They're not loose, they're nice and tight. Very, very well done, NECA. Knee joints, they bend, not too much, but again, you know, Michael Myers don't really do any sort of like bending exercises or anything in the movie. So his feet, they do turn back and forth a little bit up and down, but not too much. And the good thing is Michael can stand on his own. He has zero problem standing on his own. But if you watched my last review with the NECA stands, I will be putting a NECA stand on him, of course, so he doesn't fall off my shelf, just to be safe. Now let's get on to the accessories, and he does have quite a few accessories here. First accessory is Judith Myers, his sister that he kills in the first movie. This is her tombstone. Inside the package, it looks like it's an actual thick tombstone, but it's really thin. I think they could have probably did a much better job with this tombstone. The bottom of it is hollow. I mean, it's just like cheap plastic. They could have done like a much better texture to it or something. But it is what it is. I mean, it's alright. I just thought they could do a little bit better with the tombstone. So now we have the second head of Michael. And you might be asking yourself, wow, it kind of looks like the first head. I mean, what is the difference here? Well, the big difference, besides me dropping it, the big difference here on the head is this one does not have any eyes, which makes it a little creepier than the ones with the eyes. So it's kind of weird that they would include a second eyeless mask. I guess if you didn't want to have Michael to have eyes, this is a mask for you. And with just the head here, you can see where she struck him there in the side of the neck with the knitting needle from the first film. That is still there, which is pretty cool. And you can see the back of the mask much better, and actually has a seam. And yeah, that is great detail. I mean, seriously, to put the seam of the actual mask on the mask is pretty freaking cool. Which you don't even see on the figure itself because of the collar, but it's there. Looks like there's some blood around this eye over here. I don't know if that was intentional or if that's supposed to be like an aging thing of the mask, because the other one doesn't have that. So not really sure what that was. It could be a mistake here on the mask, but yeah, it's kind of weird. Next up, we have another head, but this is a victim of Michael's from the movie. And this is a really well done sculpted head. And I guess the intention, if you've seen the movie, but he carved the face sort of like he would have carved a pumpkin, So that's kind of cool. And the eyes are gone. You can see the teeth inside the mouth here. It's really well. You can even see the tongue down in there. One interesting thing about the head is it's hollow. So you could probably put a light or something up inside the head to make it light up. So I don't really have anything to do that with. Next up, we have this awesome pumpkin, and this is right out of the film too. The guy in the movie ends up bringing his girlfriend a pumpkin, and he carved the eyes to make them look like hearts. Aww. But this is the first actual light up thing I've ever had from NECA. This actually lights up, and the way it lights up is you push the stem down here, and you have light. So let's turn some of the lights off and take a look at it. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, I'll give it to him. That's pretty freaking cool. Come on. And it even flickers like a real pumpkin. I mean, wow. That's really nice, NECA. You knocked it out with this one. Just excellent. Very, very cool. And the cool thing about this too is it stays on. You can let it actually stay on, and you push the top of it again for it to go off. But yeah, you can actually just keep it on. On the back of it, it does have a compartment with a screw that you can change the battery out, so you don't have to worry about it ever going out. Just change the battery out. Very nice. And again, the sculpt on this is excellent. The light feature is just, yeah, awesome. And the hits keep on coming here. So this is one of his hands, and this is sort of a little spoiler for those who haven't seen the movie. Just to let you know ahead of time that he did get his fingers cut off, and it's really well sculpted. I mean, I don't even know if they showed that in the movie, where he actually has the cut marks here where they ripped the skin off and tore his fingers completely out. So yeah, that's really nice looking. And here is another hand. It's an open hand, I guess, for him wanting to grab somebody. You take a look at this sculpture of this hand, it is just so well done. I mean, it looks like you're actually holding a miniature hand. I mean, it has every wrinkle of the skin in there, and it has the fingernails, and yeah, and it's painted. Whoops, these little things are very hard to hold on to. And it's painted, every crevice of the finger is painted, so excellent. And you do have the other hand here, which is made to be holding a knife. The same with the other hand, so you can actually have him holding two different objects at the same time. Speaking of the objects he would be holding, here's one, which is the standard kitchen knife that, you know, just like Jason, this is his go-to weapon, usually. Walks into a kitchen and steals a kitchen knife and starts stabbing people. I would have liked to see a bloody version of this. It would be nice if there was blood all over the blade. It's very clean, but it's fine. And you see the sculpt is excellent. They did a really good job with it. And we have this here. This is a fire poker. Once again, really nice sculpt on it. It would help if it had some sort of bloody details. And last up, we have a hammer. So yes, Michael's going through the toolbox here. And again, nothing wrong with the hammer. Really nice sculpt. Looks very good. So overall, I can say this is a excellent figure. And I was actually kind of underwhelmed when I saw him in the package. It was kind of like, oh, it's Michael, and I haven't bought a Michael Myers figure, like I said, in a long time, and I'm so glad I actually did, because this is so much nicer out of the package when you actually get to see the articulation and the sculpt up close. Everything in it is really well done. It is. It's really, really well done. I wanted to put the knife in the hand to see how well it fit, so I popped the old hand off of here, and it literally took me about 10 minutes to get this new hand back on. So be aware of that. I mean, it was kind of hard to get this other hand to actually go back into place, because every time I was trying to push it into the little peg, the peg would move around, and I'm really surprised it didn't break. So this is going to be his hand from now on. So I sure don't want to try his head if I couldn't get his hand back on. So with all the great articulation, the excellent sculpt, this amazing pumpkin that comes with it, I mean, this is a knockout for NECA. I think it's much, much more impressive outside the box than inside the box. So if you're a Michael Myers fan, this is a no-brainer. I mean, pick this up. I think you'll be really happy with it. I'm extremely happy with it, and I can't wait to display it with the rest of my figures. So show some love like Michael is doing here with the pumpkin. And please subscribe to It Figures. I am trying to get the subscribing base up this year to at least 1,000, and I know that's kind of an outrageous goal, but I think I can do it with your guys' help. So if you enjoy this channel, please help me out and hit that subscribe button, because I have a whole lot more things to bring you, to show you, to review, and I'd love to have you here. And I'd love to hear your comments about this Michael figure, if you have it, or if you're planning on getting it, or is this review actually kind of convince you to get it, or didn't convince you to get it? Anyway, I would like to hear from you. Always love your comments, and I will see you next time here on It Figures.